We are opening the floor to any questions you may have of any of the presenters or just general questions about the project.
Just wondering what work will be allowed prior to notice to proceed, and specifically offline boxes that don't affect traffic.
Was that a question, or is that a statement that that's what you're going to do?
Well, that's what most here's what, if you're going to change it and add in 3 years, you know, I don't think any contractor would want to give up the spring dates, but obviously there's a tremendous amount of boxes that have to go in prior to hitting this grading year. So I guess that's the question is, will NDOT allow offline boxes that don't affect traffic prior to notice to proceed?
We want the contractor to get going as quickly as they can. That being said, we have environmental surveys that need to be accomplished, and the contractor needs to make the decision how that's going to work with financial close. We've been having this discussion quite a bit ourselves as to how much work will take place, whether a contractor, after the contract signed but prior to financial close, whether they'll even want to be on the site, even though there's some work that they need to start getting done, as has been pointed out today. If the contractor requests to start early, and we have the surveys out of the way, we will give it serious consideration. But like you said, we don't want impacts to traffic. We don't want people closing down lanes on 77 or 2. But there is an incredible amount of offline work on this project, which makes it right for starting early, yes. So yes, we want you to start as soon as possible, but the 3 years start when you start, if you start before the notice to proceed date. See, I knew there'd be a follow-up question.
Well, that's what we're asking is, because there is in the specs, you do allow that sometimes of other work to start. I know I didn't.
You missed that little clause about without the charge of working days.
Correct. That's what we're going for.
That's what we're going for. Yeah, I think
just buying as much time as possible.
I understand.
Yeah. So I mean, what you're doing is you're giving up. If you start in April, May of 20, you're giving it up on the back end, and it's going to take some serious consideration. What we're asking is if you hold that May time frame and at the end of it and allows offline work to count without counting calendar days. We'll formalize it as a question.
Yeah, you'll get an answer.
As far as that the TIFIA the financing option, can you clarify? Because I was a little confused. The presentation was great, but it sounded like they can't guarantee before the bid date that it's really a true option as far as getting a locked-in rate, and then also that they can meet financial close, and that they can do it at all.
Which one of you wants to take that? Michelle, right. Oh, this thing, they taped it on here, so I can't take it off. Do not mess with the mic.
I vote. Well, so two limitations, right? You mentioned one, we can't guarantee an interest rate, or we can't lock an interest rate when you submit the bid. And so that exposes you to the risk that interest rates could rise from the bid date to the date of financial close. And that's a risk that you have to take, and that comes out of your margins, essentially. Unfortunately, it's statutory. So we can't lock in an interest rate ahead of time. We have to close based on the date of, or the interest rates at the date of financial close, or the date, yes, the financial close date. We've never actually had an instance where interest rates were agreed beforehand. I can't recollect. I can go back, or if there is even no mechanism. I promise to take a look at it and see if we can do something about it, but unfortunately, whatever I know until now, we can't. We have to take the interest rate on the date of it actually goes. And on other deals, what happens is the DoD takes that risk, and not the contractors, which is different here. The other thing also is, can we close? I would say we can't tell you that we will close, but what you should look at is our history. We've done, I don't know how many P3s until now, probably at least 10 or 15, and in all of these transactions, some of which are multi-billion-dollar deals, we give the same thing. We give the term sheet on the basis of which bidders bid, and we have never not closed. Things get delayed occasionally, but we have never not closed a deal for which we have provided a term sheet. So, and contractors, at least the ones which are used to the B3 model, are used to taking that risk. They're used to working with us. Here, you may have the apprehension that, well, we've never worked with these guys before, so are we taking that risk? Clearly, there is risk, because there is nothing which says, here, we'll give you the money. We will never be able to tell you until the secretary signs it, right? So, at the end of the day, we are the federal government, so there are only so many things we can commit. But historically, we've been around for a very long time. We've given so many term sheets on so many projects across the country. None of those projects have actually failed because they didn't deliver. So that's the best I can say on that issue.